Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Who'sy podcast with me, Phil.
And me, Scott.
And on this episode, you can watch or listen to us with our knee-jerk reaction for episodes 3 and 4 of The War Between the Land and the Sea, entitled The Deep and the Witch Under the Waterfall, or Witch of the Waterfall, or something. Because,
Yes.
yeah, something like that.
Because I wanted to go to somewhere, Scotland or I don't
Wales.
know, Wales or somewhere. We'll get to that.
Okay. So what do you think of these two, Scott? Because actually, before we go any further, I just want to say that one thing we forgot to mention last week was the one of the downsides to it was that the sound mix was awful.
It's too loud.
No, it wasn't too loud. It was too quiet. You couldn't hear the dialogue. It was the same with episodes 3 and 4 because I sort of turned the telly right up, didn't I?
No, I mean the music was too loud. That's what I mean.
No, the dialogue was too. Even when the music was off, you couldn't hear what they were saying. It was terrible. Actually, the sound mix it always has been though with Doctor Who since it came back. It's always been a bit weird. But anyway, what did you think of these particular episodes?
They were good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they were actually the best episodes we've had so far. But that whole Barclay and Salt relationship is just really odd. Like, I'm not saying that a relationship's obviously gonna happen, but basically a fish and a human is not something.
Well, it's not a fish; it's a reptile, isn't it?
Yeah, but
even
it
so,
looks like
it's
a
bit-
fish.
yeah. Well,
Like-
I think everyone pretty much guessed that's what was going to happen. Who's going to get them?
But it's so awkward. And he said that she tastes like salt.
I know, which
So really
was
gross.
Yeah, it is a bit actually. Yeah. Well, it is for adults, not for kids. It is a bit silly. We all knew it was going to happen. It's almost like a child. I've got to be honest. After last week's pretty good episodes, I thought this week's was more disappointing
I
than it
thought
was.
the first 10 minutes of episode 3 weren't very good. I thought they were just I wouldn't say mediocre, but no, the best we've had so far. Then it started getting into the action. I thought, okay, yeah, it's going to be good. And then the cliffhanger in episode 3 was like intense. Colonel Ibrahim died. A spoiler. That was a pretty insane thing for a cliffhanger to resume in episode 4. What episode do you think was stronger though? I still think episode 3 is stronger than 4.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Although I do like them exploring Kate a bit more in episode 4, which they didn't in.
They didn't really
Yeah.
in the
I
ever
prefer-
actually
never, ever,
in
yeah.
Doctor Who. I mean, there's a bit in episode 3 when Barclay's talking to his wife and daughter, is it Kirby, and she throws like a teenage strop and goes, "I hate you all," and at that point, I loudly went, "Oh dear," like that because it was just awfully written. It was it's like a middle-aged man trying to write for a teenager, and they just can't do it.
It didn't. What? But why didn't she say, "Oh, I hate this," and then walked off crying?
I don't know.
That's what everybody else would do.
It was meant to be like a teenage strop and everything, but it just come across so awkward and contrived, and yeah, I didn't really.
Like that.
I didn't buy that at all. No, I thought it was awful. And then the bit with Ted Campbell. The moment it's a character we didn't see last week. And also the ambassador from India as well. I get the fact that they were chosen.
Was the ambassador from India evil, or was he just?
No,
kind of
he was
standing up there?
just a bit of a coward, really. Well, not coward, but he was just scared.
Scared.
The Ted Campbell one, I thought was as soon as he opened up that box and had the globe, and I thought that's a bomb. It was so obvious what it was.
But I think, yeah, kind of. How else are you going to not make it obvious? Though?
Well, obviously because you hadn't seen him before. He was far too chummy and everything. Stop playing with your hair. Sorry, folks. If you're listening to this, Scott keeps playing with his hair on camera. He's just had it cut. I just thought it was kind of silly. Really, it was just obvious to me that's what. And I said to you at the time that's going to be a bomb, and it was. So far, so very, very obvious. Really, I'm sounding like really snidey about this, but
Yeah, but to be fair, there's like no way we can guess the conclusion of how this ends. Like, it isn't exactly an easy guess because there's so many things to tie up.
Well,
now.
the thing is, at the moment, it's almost playing out almost identically to Children of Earth. Really, because
how do you think it's going to end?
Let's not worry about the ending. Let's talk about these two episodes because you've had Colonel Ibrahim, Christopher Ibrahim, shot dead,
Like a Yanto.
Exactly. Like Yanto died, and they even managed to squeeze in a Yanto-style shrine for Colonel Ibrahim and all the other unit members as well. But the fact is, I don't know if RTD is going to get into trouble for this, but he's basically killed off people of colour or different ethnicities, because he's killed off Colonel Ibrahim, he's killed off the general who's black, he's killed off the other unit woman who was Asian, he's killed off the Indian ambassador. It was
all... going to kill off everyone? Is Shirley Ann Bingham next?
God knows.
We don't know.
Shirley. Well, that's another weird thing as well. Why all of a sudden he calls her Mrs. Bingham rather than Shirley? It was Shirley in Doctor Who. Now it's Mrs. Bingham, which I think
is she married?
Apparently so. But anyway, I thought.
And also they made it canonical that Kay has a daughter.
Yeah. Yes.
Outside, Downtime is now official apparently.
Oh right, okay. I've never seen Downtime.
I haven't either, but all I know is that Kay has a daughter in Downtime.
Oh right, okay. I don't know. I was more disappointed. There were some nice moments in it, but I don't know. It was just a little bit. I mean, the Sea Devil base or their world city, I thought was a little bit underwhelming. Actually,
but it looked cool though.
Well, it's nothing we haven't seen before. Where was their technology? There was no signs of how they're doing what they're doing. It just seems to be like magic.
Well, they are.
I mean, are they going to? I'm assuming they're going to go back to the thing about the pearls in their net. That seems to be how they can see things that other people can't. It's like a camera, isn't it, to them? How is it working? Do you know what I mean?
They're probably just going to answer that in episode 5.
Well, that's an awful lot to cram into episode 5.
We don't know how long it's going to be.
And then you get...
It might not be 45 minutes.
And then you get... you've got like a weak prime minister. And again, that's pretty much on the nose with, big business controls governments. And this is what they were saying in this. I find the whole thing about the... Okay, they said that, because Sir Keith Spears is a good friend of the Prime Minister. Mm-hmm. And, so it'll be difficult for him if it comes out he was involved in this institute, because it ties it back to him and back to the Prime Minister, and they just go and shoot him anyway. So he had no bearing on it. But again, this institute that he donated to, an institute that Ted Campbell was working for, made the bomb, it just came out of nowhere. There was no mention of them at all in the first 2 episodes. It was just really... Not that I can remember anyway. Can you remember anything about them?
No, but at the same time, I wonder who the institute is. I don't know.
Well, I think that's dropped. And
institute.
Well, now the mystery is like who hired the hitmen to kill, or the assassin to kill Kate. Yeah, but who? Who in the institute? Was it really them, or was it the general, or was it the French major?
You know the thing at the end of episode 4 with the army and the general, you said, yeah, probably the general. Now you look at it. But the thing of the general being given command over British troops on British soil, I think is really ridiculous. I don't think that it will happen in. I say they're saying this is a time of war, but when you've got an Allied force being headed up by a particular general, like recent modern conflicts, like the Americans lead the way, they're sort of in general command. I can't see a prime minister giving an American general direct command over British troops without another... The thing is, he's being manipulated by...
He is being manipulated, but it is ridiculous, though. The Cobra meeting as well, it just consists of him, some bloke Keith Spears, who shouldn't have been there, and 2 non-UK members of the armed forces. And they basically all turn and look at Kate sort of like... It was like, it might as well twiddle the evil moustaches.
But the Cobra meeting's supposed to be worldwide, I thought.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just the UK. Cobra is the UK Parliament. Or no, UK Cabinet, I should say. And there were no Cabinet members there. It was just... Yeah, I don't know.
Did they say it was a Cobra meeting?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
When?
It was in the dialogue later on. It's Kate mentioned it, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, what? I mean, okay. I'm sort of picking at all the bad stuff here.
What did you enjoy? What did you actually enjoy?
I'm not entirely certain. Actually,
oh my God.
There wasn't a lot, to be fair. I thought the bit with the troops, the unit troops, and the British Army facing off against each other was good, and I thought that was
pretty good.
But then again, they just pulled this thing out of the bag where she screamed like a sonic boom, and then just stopped everybody.
Well, we already knew that she could scream. Like, that it was already
Did
said,
we?
wasn't it? Yeah, she was screaming in the thing really loud as well in the building.
Yeah, but that was with joy. Well, then all of a sudden it can deafen people all over the place.
Maybe
Yeah,
it just-
I don't know.
What they are?
Was there something last week when they all got deafened over the radio with something happened underwater or something? Some noise made them take their headphones off, didn't it? And
Might have.
I can't remember. But I don't know. Yeah, I was disappointed with these 2 episodes actually. But you liked it though, didn't you? You enjoyed
Where's
it.
the optimism for Doctor Who?
Well, it's not Doctor Who, is it?
For the spin-off.
For the spin-off. Well,
But the
there
acting
was
really good.
some
my
of it.
God.
Some of it. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it's the dialogue they're given because that some of the when that general was doing his little speech before they got into the bathysphere. Actually, that was good. The bathysphere thing that was good when they're going down all the noises, and I think like the conversations between them were quite good. But then you had this weird speech the general gave, and it just felt so just badly acted for some.
General?
The black guy, the black general.
Oh.
The unit general. Just about to get into the bathysphere, he makes this speech about using a David Bowie quote
did
and all
seem
that.
a bit forced.
Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah, so I didn't really. I don't know. It just didn't click this week, really. Once and also the Ted Campbell guy who detonated the bomb. They said he sort of gave his life because he had like stage 4 cancer, so he was willing to give his life. But surely with all the rigorous training, they would have picked up on the fact he had cancer and not let him on the trip. So I don't know. It just sort of seems a little bit contrived this week.
Well, I don't know. Maybe because I don't really know. Maybe just because he just didn't show it, or maybe because he was older, he doesn't have to take as much responsibility.
You've still got to be fit. That's the whole thing of making sure you're fit enough to take that journey. And obviously he wasn't. He was dying.
Well, he managed to hide it pretty well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty ridiculous.
Well, he was working for other people, to be fair.
Yeah,
so
but he still had to undergo the same training and tests as everyone else at that Royal Navy diving school.
What I mean was that he's older, so if they take, maybe there's like basic training, and then the younger you are, the more responsibility you take for all of the running around or whatever it is. Anyways.
Yeah, so I didn't enjoy it that much this week, unfortunately.
What would you rate 2 episodes out of 10?
Oh, God, it's a 5.
That's sad.
This week, I'm afraid. I just didn't enjoy it at all. I dare say everyone else will think it was marvellous, but I certainly...
But it was good.
Well, you enjoyed it. That's the main
The
thing.
effects were so cool, and we finally got to explore... You have to add an extra point for exploring Kate. Like, we finally got some Kate
Well, a little bit.
We finally got some Kate character development.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've never
Not
seen
too
that
much.
before. And we saw Shirley Ann Bingham take control. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
She just brings sarcasm into everything.
She does, yes.
Which is quite interesting.
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
That's it. Okay, so we'll be back next week for episode 4, which I think is just called The End of the War. That's imaginative, isn't it? Yeah, you screwed your face up at that, didn't you? So thanks for watching and listening. We'll be back with our final knee-jerk reaction next week. So until then, everybody, it's goodbye from me, Phil.
And goodbye from me, Scott.
Goodbye.